Okay, who agrees after this disaster that was 2007's attempt to bring the Silver Surfer to the big screen that the Surfer needs a female makeover? I'd be happy to oblige.
What? It's over? Oh, woo! Wow. Oh, my head, that was way more boring than I remember. Fantastic Four, Riser of the Silver Surfer, or scratch that, Rise of the Sloppy Surfer, or Snory Surfer, or Snoozy Surfer, is the second and final Fantastic Four movie to be directed by Tim Story, and it tells the story taking place uh, shortly after the events of the 2005 Fantastic Four, where Sue and Reed are about to have their wedding, the wedding of the century, as the public are hyping it up, but at the same time, a mysterious alien known as Norrin Rad the Silver Surfer has come to Earth to help Galactus, or the Destroyer as they call him, eat the planets. As his service will spare his world and the woman he loves. And at the same time, they throw Doctor Doom in there because why not? So it's up to the Fantastic Four and this uh, arsehole General Hager to get the Surfer and Galactus away from Earth. Admittedly, at the time, nearly 20 years ago, I uh, uh, didn't mind Rise of the Silver Surfer. As a kid, I found it to be a decent follow up to the 2005 Fantastic Four, and I thought at the time that the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies were the only good ones, but over time, my opinion of Rise of the Sloppy Surfer has certainly altered. I can't believe I was so generous to it because that's generosity I had towards this movie has nearly almost gone now. It's finito. This movie sucks. It totally drops the fucking ball after they actually got some things right in the 2005 film, but Tim's Story, he gave up. He did not give a shit directing this one. He was just like, oh, let's just do whatever the fuck we want with the sequel, and even disrespect fans of the Marvel comics and the Fantastic Four and Stan Lee's work. Nobody cares. Tim's Story, I hope you are happy. You owe us fans an apology because this sequel killed your Fantastic Four universe dead and any hopes of a Fantastic Four 3. And to think, this is the only kind of different Fantastic Four movie from the other three, as it's the only one to feature the Silver Surfer, the only Fantastic Four sequel, and the only one with a slightly different plot. So it doesn't have to worry about telling the origin story all over again, but its execution is messy as hell. It's embarrassing. How I would have done this sequel and to incorporate the Silver Surfer's story was why not have the Fantastic Four travel to the Surfer's world and meet his people, and there could have been a love triangle between Sue and Norrin and his love interest. And you could have you only needed Galactus as the main antagonist. You didn't need a Victor Von Doom here again. But instead, we get this snore fest of a plot, so with a incredibly slow first actor, which is well, Sue and Reed getting their wedding ready. Like we want to spend that much time on that in a Fantastic Four movie. Just get to the cool shit already. And I mean, at least Ben's new girlfriend, she's incorporated into the story more, and she does have a nice friendship with Sue. But the wedding gets interrupted, of course, by the surfers' arrival, and the majority of the movie is just the team with the army just tracking the surfer across the globe, and they don't physically meet the surfer until the third act of the movie. Like I thought, the first Fantastic Four needed more action, but this film needed a way more action because the pacing is even more terrible here. At least Fantastic Four 2005 well had entertainment value. This one has terrible pacing, terrible action, terrible villains, and terrible comedy. Like seeing Reader, flirt and cheat on Sue, a bunch of girls in the nightclub. My my God, that was pretty low of him, and so out of character, and uh, and Johnny, getting all of the getting the powers of the others whenever he would touch them, he would absorb their power. That could have been funnier, but when they do it, they when Sue becomes like the female Human Torch, and then her clothes burn off, and they show her naked again, like in the first film. In the first film, it got a chuckle out of me, but at this point, that joke feels so damn tired, and and uh, and Johnny absorbing Ben's rock powers and becoming the Thing 2.0. Oh, that's a cringe attempt of comedy, which is a step down from his character arc in the first film, where he was the one that convinced the team to accept and enjoy their powers. And poor Ben, but Ben was one of the best characters in the 2005 film. He was the heart of that movie, the one who wished he could get his old self back more than the others. And in this one, he gets a no character arc whatsoever. He is just there, cringe comedy, nothing more, and and Reed's relationship with Sue in this film. It's beyond cliche how him and Sue are thinking about leaving the Fantastic Four team because they don't feel they can raise a family that way. Why? Your kids, if when you have them, will love to get superpowers and be on a superhero team. Sue, like the 2005 film, is still the show stealer here, as she gets the best storyline of the four, particularly her emotional bond with Norrin Raz. How she tells him, "We do have a choice. You don't need to obey Galactus any longer." And though uh, though she's her acting isn't as strong as it was in the first film, it's clear by the sequel that she was not as interested or as invested in this script, and her eyebrows even look odd, even though she does still look unspeakably stunning. But in the third actor, they completely disrespect her. They uh, uh, like uh, trick you into thinking they're gonna kill her off, and they take her out of the climax, which is unnecessary because we know she's not gonna die. They wouldn't kill off Sue, as so. Yeah, I hated how they didn't give her a better role in the finale, but all the others got involved in the action. Noran Rad as the Silver Surfer. I mean, why did they CGI him? He so much. You could have had a guy in a silver costume easily. The visual effects for this film are noticeably uh, more out of date and obvious than the CGI in the 2005 film. I guess it is sweet that he uh, it feels so close to Sue because she reminds him of the one he loves, but we don't get enough time with him, and as he is the titular character of the film, and we don't even get to see his world. We just hear about his planet through exposition with him telling us, haven't you forgotten Tim's story? You show, you don't tell. And why the fuck did they bring a Victor Von Doom back? They brought him back pointlessly in this film. He adds nothing to it. Granted, the Surfer in the comics and the Fantastic Four animated series did show Doom getting the Surfer's board before, but in this film, it's a pointless addition. General Haker is a real jerk and a complete moron for ever trusting a Victor more than Reed. So when General Hager was consistently insulting Reed and his friends, saying, "Oh, he's regretted trusting Richards and his pack of freaks," it was like, Reed, just screw this guy, stop working with him, and stop and just unfriend him. But the biggest the thing that's pissed me and all the fans off more than anything is the fact that they uh, destroyed Galactus. Oh, God, God, God. Galactus looks like shit. He doesn't look remotely like the Galactus from the comics. They just turned him into a tornado cloud. Screw you, movie. And you robbed Galactus of any character that he could have had. I mean, Stan Lee, he would be absolutely ashamed. Fantastic Four First Steps had better get Galactus right as an apology for this film. I guess it is uh, unique how we get to a globe trot in this film and go from not only uh, London but to Germany and Siberia and China, and seeing the Fantastic Four ship that the Four are riding from the comics. I mean, there's not enough of it. We have to wait until nearly the end of the movie to see it again. That this movie takes far too long to get to some of the things we came here to see. 2007 was kind of a dud year for comic book films with this Ghost Rider and Spider-Man 3. So, yeah, overall, Rise of the sloppy surfer, for the most part, terrible. Even if it's not one of the absolute worst comic book movies ever made, nor is it the worst Fantastic Four film. I wouldn't go that far, but it's a great deal worse than the 2005, but it is a great deal worse than its predecessor, and shame on Fox for cancelling the third Fantastic Four film in favor of the Fantastic reboot because they shot themselves in the foot there. Even though the post-credit scene of this movie does tease and set up a sequel, you just know like that's ever gonna happen, and uh, I I cannot wait to see the female Silver Surfer come to the MCU after this.
I give Rise of the Sloppy Surfer 1 star out of 5. Fuck this movie.
Thank you, SpongeBob, for your much needed comfort because, yeah, if you saw Rise of the Silver Surfer in theaters 18 years ago, I feel your pain. But believe it or not, there's still worse to come. Fantastic Four 1994, the uh, campiest campfest imaginable. I am so looking forward to it. not. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this rant. And what are your thoughts on Rise of the Snorri Surfer? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and Instagram. And I'll see you next time when I rant the hell out of Fantastic Four 1994, which will be my final retro Fantastic Four review leading up to a Fantastic Four First Steps. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.